The landscape of college admissions testing has changed considerably over the past few years. What you have heard from parents, siblings, and friends about their college admissions testing experience is likely not going to be the same for you. This presentation is meant to give you accurate and current information and to help dispel previous notions that may no longer hold true. Let's start by talking about the tests. The SAT and ACT have both traditionally been used by colleges to help in making admissions decisions. For the past couple years, the SAT has also been the state of Illinois' high school accountability test. As such, every high school junior takes a school day SAT. This school day SAT is a graduation requirement. This school day test can be used for college admissions as well. In addition to the SAT, on the school day, many students elect to sign up for additional SATs or an ACT. These are optional and are signed up for at the discretion of students. SATs and ACTs that do not occur on a school day are referred to as national test dates. These can be taken anywhere, not just Glenbard West. In the past, the SAT and ACT gave you the option of signing up for the essay test as well. As of now, the school day SAT will continue to have the essay. However, the essay portion is no longer an option for national test dates and is not used by colleges in admissions decisions. There are also tests called SAT subject tests, which in the past were also called SAT 2s. These were shorter tests that tested one specific subject. They are no longer available, nor are they required at any colleges. However, if you have taken one, there are a small number of colleges that will require you to send those scores for the ones that you took. There are also a handful of schools that may ask for AP exam scores to help for admissions consideration. This is optional, so if it is a strength, you should send them. See your counselor with questions on this. Colleges have different testing policies. Some colleges will require you to submit a test score. However, many colleges are now test optional. Test optional means exactly that. It is an option to send test scores. This puts the decision on whether to have test scores considered on you. As a general rule, if your test score is at the higher end of the average range or better for that particular college, go ahead and send your scores. If your scores are below average or on the lower end of average, and you don't think it is a strength of your application, then you don't want to send them. It is not frowned upon if you don't provide test scores. Colleges that have committed to being test optional will not hold it against you if you do not send scores. Some colleges also have something known as test blind testing policies. If a college is test blind, it means they will not consider test scores for anyone. If you have any questions about testing policies at a specific school, consult their website. If it is unclear, speak with your counselor. There are a few other things to consider when thinking about test scores. Some colleges have committed to test optional policies for admissions, but their financial aid offices may not have gone test optional for scholarship. If potential scholarships are important to you, you should check with each college's admissions reps to see if you need to submit a test score for scholarships. The same may go for scholarships offered by other organizations. There may also be specific programs at a college that requires test scores. So even if a college is test optional, there is a chance that a program like nursing or engineering may still have a test score requirement. It is best to check with each college you are considering to make sure that no programs require a score. For students planning to enroll in college in 2021-22 and 2022-23, the NCAA is not requiring an ACT or SAT score. This may change for future classes. For some of you, testing might be something that you do very well, or maybe you have been putting in a lot of work preparing for the SAT or ACT and feel like a test score may be a strength of your application. Also, if you haven't taken particularly rigorous courses, or if your GPA is lower than you think your abilities are, a high SAT or ACT score may be a strength of your application. If any of these things are the case, you may want to consider taking additional SATs or ACTs. You should have all taken an SAT on a school day last spring. If you would like to take additional SATs or an ACT, you need to sign up for those through either College Board for the SAT or MyACT for the ACT. It is up to you. If you receive accommodations for an IEP or 504, or have a medical condition that requires you to receive testing accommodations, you can receive these on these tests. If you have a 504 or an IEP, you have already been approved for accommodations for the SAT. There is nothing else you need to do to receive it on additional tests. If you plan on taking an ACT, contact your counselor. If you have questions or are unsure about this, contact your counselor. Fee waivers are available for all students who receive free or reduced lunch. They allow you to take up to 2 additional SATs and 2 ACTs. They also allow you to send your scores to colleges for free. Contact your counselor if you need a fee waiver. If you are required to report scores to colleges, or you want to report your scores as part of your college application, there are 2 ways that you may need to report. The first way is to self-report. An application may ask you as part of the application to provide your SAT or ACT score or scores on the application. If you are applying test optional and do not want to submit your score, you would not provide it. If you do want to provide your scores, do so. If you self-report scores and end up attending that school, they will ask you to provide an official score report to verify your scores. It may go without saying that it does not reflect well on you if your scores do not match. Some colleges will only accept official score reports as part of your application. Official score reports need to be sent directly from the testing company. You need to log into either your College Board or MyACT account and send it to colleges yourself. Glenn Bard West does not send test scores. You need to allow at least 2 weeks before any deadline for the test companies to send your scores. They will charge you to send scores. If you are on free or reduced lunch, ask your counselor for a fee waiver. If not, you will need to have a credit card. You can report your scores at the time you take your SAT or ACT as well. You can submit your scores for free to up to 4 colleges. I would recommend that if you are unsure where you want to go to college, or if you don't plan on submitting scores to any colleges, that you at least send them to the College of DuPage at the time of testing. This way, if you do end up going to COD, you will not need to pay to send your scores later. If you have any problems sending test scores, accessing your account, or registering for a test, you will need to contact the testing companies. Your counselors do not have access to your College Board or MyACT accounts.